I'm James, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a 3D clothing mock-up just like this. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and download Blender, which is free software to use. And if you're familiar with 3D, you'll already be aware of this. But if you're new to 3D, it's super easy to use, and we've made everything nice and easy for you as well, so don't be daunted by this. So we'll go ahead and we're going to click download on that, and it'll prompt you to which version you're using, but it detects that. So I'm going to download 4.0.2, which is the latest version. You can donate to them if you want. It's your choice. So once that's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Drag it into my applications. You'll see that I've already got a version of Blender in there, but it's an old one. And the reason why I'm updating this is because every time we release a new mockup, we use the most up-to-date version of Blender. If you're using an old version of Blender, you might run into some conflicts, so make sure that you're always using the most up-to-date version. So I'm going to replace that. In this video, I'm going to work with the Boxy Hoodie Mockup, and just so you know, you can save 15% if you bundle up with 3+ items, and that can be like a font, other mockup, texture pack, whatever. So we're ready to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the file. So when you first download it, you'll see that you've got this file format configuration. We want to go ahead and open up the walking hoodie. So at the moment, you'll see that it's just this 3D model. If you want to see what it's going to look like as a more realistic render, then you've got these little render view modes at the top as well. I like to work in this third one because it gives you speed and you can see what's going on. Because if you're in the other two, you're not going to see your artwork. And then you've got option 4, which is the realistic render mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit play by hitting the space bar, and you'll see that we've got the timeline moving along at the bottom, and you'll see that the hoodie is walking and rotating at the same time. And this is what we include as standard, because if you've got a design that covers the whole garment, so on the back, the sleeves, inside of the hood, you want to be able to show all of that. So this option gives you the chance to showcase everything without anything being hidden. So if you just wanted the animation to be walking in a straight line, then that's fine. All you need to do is deactivate these keyframes. So you'll see over here these yellow little diamonds. You want to go and right click on those and then click delete keyframes. And then same over on the other end as well. So now, if I hit spacebar, it's just walking towards us. Now, at the moment, we are using, you see here, we've got camera close. That's the camera we're on. I want to switch the background off on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click that little tick there. So now it's just going to be on a backdrop. You can switch that off as well if you like. Again, if we hit spacebar, it's just going to keep walking towards us. And that's perfect for what we want. But our print is on the back in this example. So I want to make sure that that's spun around accordingly. At the moment, I'm coming through this camera close, and I'm going to go and change the position of this garment. So I'm going to hold command and I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to make sure that I'm clicked on the hoodie, and I'm going to go to this rotate here. So we can see that the camera is there. So I want to make sure that the garment is rotated around to the other side. So if I use that, and then I'm going to grab the blue axis and then I'm going to rotate that around. Now, if we go back to that camera view, we can click on here as well, this little toggle, and that'll show us the back. So now it's facing the opposite direction. So you could make a render just like this if you want, and then you could make a render of the side view. So if we're going to do the side view, same process. Just going to zoom out so we can see what's going on a bit more. And then with that blue axis, I'm going to rotate it round. So we've got the side view this time. Let's go to our camera. And then click on this little toggle as well to see what's going on. And there you go, you've got the side view. So you can do renders like that, or you can keep it as standard with it rotating. It's totally up to you. This is just an example of how it works in different ways for different needs. So if we want to go and update the artwork and the color of the garment, we want to go and click onto walking hoodie, make sure that's selected. And you'll see here that this area is all empty at the moment. So if I scroll along to the right, you'll see that that's where all the nodes are. And a lot of the time people will think that that's missing. It's just the case that you just can't see it, and it's just not exposed at the moment. So if we're to hold down command and then I scroll out, you'll see that that's where it is. So that's a good trick just to be able to find it. I know it's a simple one for people that use 3D all the time, but it's a common mistake that people get. So I just wanted to kind of shout about that one while I could. So you'll probably notice as well that you've got normal map. That's for adding a little bit of a 3D effect to your print. It looks quite nice if you're thinking about how many layers of plaster sole ink your design's going to use, or if you've got that puff print effect, or like embroidery, which comes with the product as well. So if you don't want that, just literally drag that off. You don't need that on. And then here is how we would go and add our artwork. So we can do that by clicking here and then clicking OK and clicking this little folder icon. Now this is going to bring up the folder where you've got all your artwork files. Go back to that folder that you first got when you downloaded it, and you've got place your design here. So once you open up this file, you can then go and place your artwork. You'll see here that we've got this. This is the guide. So this is handy for when you're working with the file and just positioning things, but make sure that you've got that switched off when you're saving it down. You've got the stonewash effect, so you can switch that on or off. I would turn that to either about 30 or 50%. It depends on the strength that you want. You can crank that right up if you want. But yeah, around 30% is good, I find. So then you've got the replace artwork here, and we've got the embroidery effects in here. If you wanted to add some embroidery designs, then just double click to go into that smart object and you can save that down, and that will give you this embroidery effect that we've got going on here. So I'm going to hide that, and then I'm also going to hide the replace with your artwork, and I'm going to go and drop my own artwork in. So I can position this on the chest and then this on the back. And then I want to make sure that that's switched off, and then I go and save this down as a PNG. Make sure we've got PNG selected, and make sure that we don't change any of the sizes here as well. It's really important to note. And then we're going to go to export, and I'm just going to put it in here and call it design file. Now if I go back to Blender, I can refresh this folder and I've got design file. So I'm going to go and choose that, and then here we go. We've got it added. So that's now got the print on it with that stonewash effect as well. So I'll undo all that so we can go back to the original one. The inside of the hood is set to grey at the moment. We can change that to any color we like, and you can add your artwork on the inside of there, whatever you need to do. And again, if you wanted to change the color of the garment, you've got this little slider here. Bring that up so you can get your color in, and then you can change the hoodie to any color you want. Same rule applies with the cuffs as well, and the cuffs are in slot 2. So at the moment we've got everything switched off, but I'm going to switch that backdrop on. And I can change the color of that as well. So at the moment we've got backdrop there, and you'll see it's probably hidden again. So we can go ahead and change the backdrop color as well. We can go for something nice like a studio white. Because we've got a black garment, that contrast will really help as well. But what I would recommend is keeping it transparent and adding on a background separately. And that will just speed up the whole render process. And there's a video up here which I'd highly recommend watching if you're making your first render. So I have one more tip as well for using this mockup, and that's how to speed up the render process. So you'll notice that when this is walking, it takes about 4 or 5 steps, and you could quite easily reduce that loop. So if you're looking to speed up this render process, then I'd suggest stitching a couple together, and I'm going to give you the right amount for that. So in order to do that, what you do is go over here and type in 95, and then over here, we want to end that on 170. And now this is our loop. So this is a good way to reduce the loop so you don't have to render the entire thing. If you're working with the 360 rotation, then I'd keep the whole 300, because otherwise he's just going to be power walking and it's going to look a bit ridiculous. So I'd keep that long for the 360 spinning rotation. And for the just walking like this, you can keep that loop nice and short. And that's also going to be much better on your website as well, or wherever you're going to be looking to post this. You can just loop that over and over again. And it's a nice clean cut short piece that you can loop. So now we're ready to make our render, and just over here I need to go and check that I've got things on. So you can see here the camera icon is on. I want to switch that off so it doesn't render the background. Everything else, let's check our settings. We've got 1200 by 1200, nice and big. We can set this to 200 if we want. It's totally your call. And then here in the render tab, we can switch denoise on, and then let's set that to 220 just so it's nice and fast. And that'll be a lot quicker to work with. And then if we go ahead and render animation, we'll let that tick along, and you'll see up here that it's starting on frame 95. So we're going to work through that, and that's going to get that nice side angle walking animation. So now you've made your PNG sequence, you need to stitch it together. Now there's a video here which goes into a bit more detail. I use Premiere Pro, which comes with my Adobe subscription. If you don't have that, then I'm going to put a link in the description to this website, which goes into 5 free methods to do that. It's entirely up to you which method you choose to use, but they all do the same thing. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you like what we do, feel free to drop us a like on this video, and feel free to subscribe as well to be notified when more content comes out like this in the future, because we're always working to bring out new stuff. And if you post this on Instagram, feel free to tag Future Deconstruction and Studio Innate as well, because we love to see what you guys have made. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email or drop them in the comments here. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys in the next video.